million, or 10.9%. This is the amount of people in the population of California that have admitted to using at least one form of tobacco smoking. Today, by listening to my presentation, hopefully it will help influence either your own personal habits with e-smoking or help the usage of e-cigarettes in your own community. I have been researching tobacco smoking and the effects that it does on the younger population for a while now. Tobacco smoking is one of the founding fathers to the U.S. economical growth in the late 1600s, but now is also one of the founding fathers to the decline of the societal groups who still use tobacco-related products today. Today, I wanted to tackle a specific form of tobacco smoking, which would be, of course, e-cigarettes. Today, I wanted to talk about the problems that are related with e-cigarettes. I also wanted to talk about the causes and causes and barriers of these problems, and I also wanted to talk about the solution we can do to stop these problems. Moving on to these problems and harms of e-cigarettes. These problems consist of addictive relationships that they can form with the e-cigarettes, effects to long-term health like lung cancer or just dying in particular. It also acts as an open door for dangerous chemicals. And last but not least, it also connects kids to other harmful drugs in the future. The first problem I wanted to talk about was the effects of e-cigarettes on the youth. So right now there's an epidemic happening right now in California that is forming an unhealthy relationship with e-cigarettes. Just as Lisa Gillespie said in her article, Forgotten but Not Gone, Epidemic of Vaping Illness Continues. It shows that the figure rose to 22,000 cases in 2021, but just recently hit 31,000 in 2022. As you can see in this picture, the left lung represents someone who does not smoke, which is good. And the right shows someone that has quite an experience of smoking, which is very bad. Moving on to my next problem, which would be the dangers of chemicals in e-cigarettes. They're known to deliver very unknown substances to younger kids and teens, such as nicotine, which is highly addictive, which keeps kids and teens running back to them. There's also carcinogens, which is scientifically shown to cause cancer. And last but not least, there's propylene, which is a chemical used to make stuff that shouldn't be digested, like antifreeze for cars or paint solvents, and also artificial fog machines. I can't speak for everyone, but if I were asked if I wanted to digest a chemical that is made to make some stuff like this, then I wouldn't want to digest it. Moving on to my last problem, which would be the cognitive damages to the youth. Some of the cognitive damages to the youth would be addictions, or as it says in the Kids Health Information website, it says nicotine exposure during the teen years can harm brain development, which continues to age 25. It can affect things like learning, memory, attention, and it can also lead to risk or addiction to other lethal drugs, such as cigarettes or other lethal pills or drugs like cocaine. Some even go to alcohol, if not. Now that I've talked about the problems and harms of e-cigarettes, I now want to talk about the causes and barriers. Some of the main causes would be the flavor marketing from tobacco industries. They are targeting our young generation by throwing these flavors out that are supposed to be colorful, flavorful, and they're supposed to attract people who are more vulnerable to sensory, like touch, taste, smell, and all that stuff, because they're younger. And another barrier that I would like to talk about would be that it is still legal to sell in the state of California. Although they did put a ban on selling it to people that are below the age of 21, it is still accessible in most smoke shops, and it can still be illegally sold. Moving on, now that I've talked about the causes and barriers, I want to talk about the solution we can do to prevent these problems with e-cigarettes. One thing that you can do to stop the ban, or to make the banning of e-cigarettes, would be to sign a petition that completely bans the manufacture and selling of all e-cigarettes in any form. It has no cost other than your own free will to benefit our future generation. By signing your name, you will help lessen the amount of e-cigarettes inside our state of California, making it hard for these kids and teenagers to acquire them. In conclusion, well, I think that banning e-cigarettes from manufacturing and being sold is the best. Today I talked about the problems and harms of e-cigarettes. I talked about the causes and barriers as well, and I also talked about a solution we can do. Nowadays, every corner you go to, you can find someone smoking some type of tobacco product, that most commonly either a cigarette or a vape. I believe that by fixing societal's major problems, it will help make the world a better place.